Hebrews, Hebrews, Hebrews. This is Prophets of Awakening. This is our evening Shabbat class, 24th of December, 2024. Okay, we're gonna do a recap for the week. Go back over our lessons during the week and just like review it. Okay, you go to our YouTube channel, the Prophets of Awakening. Check out our videos. We have over 1,000 videos that you can check out, examine the contents, and get the meat out of it. Okay. Our hours of operation are Tuesday and Wednesday. We on from 7 to 9. And then we have Men's Advanced Bible Study on Friday nights. It's from 7 to 9. We have two Sabbath classes, one in the morning, 10 to 12 a.m. Then we have a Shabbat class, closes out the week. It's at 6 o'clock in the evening. And what I start doing with that is I do my recap every week on our evening Shabbat class. Then we have a class on 5 o'clock Central Time on Sundays. It's like current events, dialogue, Q&A. So with that being said, this is a non-Messianic channel. We deal with the Tanakh and the Torah. Tanakh being the Old Testament, so-called Book of Remembrance, and the Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament that were given to Moses by our Redeemer, the Lord of Hosts. Shalom and welcome to the channel, and welcome to our evening Shabbat class. We're going to do our normal, which is a moment of silence, Sabbath prayer, Psalms. We have some current events, need to know information. We're opening it up for some Q&A and dialogue. And like I said, from now on, I'll be doing a recap on the evening Shabbat class. Go back through the week, the things that was discussed, talk about it. See if anybody have any comments or anything about it. Okay. This moment of silence is for the Lord of Hosts and all that He's doing to bring about our prophesied deliverance in these last days. Okay. Oh Lord, I pray unto the Lord my God and make my confessions, O Lord, great and dreadful God, keep me covenant and mercy for them that love thee and for them that keep thy commandments. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us a confusion of face as it is this day, to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off, through all the country whither thou hast driven us, because of our trespass, that we have trespassed against thee. O Lord, hear this prayer and cause thy face to shine upon thy sanctuary and thy people for your sake. O Lord, open thine eyes and incline your ears to hear and behold our condition. O Lord, hear. O Lord, forgive, hearken and do, and defer not for thy own sake. For your people need you so very much at this hour. Peace be unto you. Okay. Read the Psalms. I think it's Psalms 12, if I'm not mistaken. Psalm 12. Okay. It's 13. Okay. Psalm 13. How long, O Lord, how long do the it's the Psalm of David, right? How long will thou forget me, O Lord? Forever. How long wilt thou hide thy face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? How long shall mine enemy be exalted over me? Consider and hear me, O Lord, my God. Lighten my eyes, lest I sleep, the sleep of death. Lest my enemies say, I have prevailed against him. And those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved. But I have trusted in thy mercy. My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. And I will sing unto the Lord, because he hath dealt bountifully with me, right? So that was Psalm 13 is how long, O Lord, how long? And this is one example of what I was talking about. When you understand that it's everybody that come from Israel, because the people on this planet they wicked as hell, and they was constantly trying to do David in. And David was praying about it, constantly praying for the Lord to keep him safe, because they was constantly trying to kill him. And like I said, when you understand that, it's obvious to see who the Redeemer is. I mean, who our Messiah is. And so in verse 5 it says, "But I have trusted in thy mercy, and my heart shall rejoice in thy salvation." And that's what I was right there. When you see tender mercies, the Most High shows tender mercies toward Israel, it's because of David. That's why we see tender mercies, is because of David. That's what he's talking about right there. It says, verse 5, Psalm 13, verse 5, "But I have trusted in thy mercy, and my heart shall rejoice in thy salvation." And an example of that is when Solomon sinned, and the Most High decided to split the Israel up. Right? He divided the southern kingdom from the northern kingdom. And the reason being that he kept the southern kingdom, Judah, was because David was from that tribe. And he told Solomon, "I'm gonna rent 10 tribes from you, but I'm gonna keep Judah because of David's sake." Tender mercies of David. Okay. Any comments on that? Okay. So with that being said, we go to some current events. Okay. Let me get it.
American people are starting to become a little more frustrated and are starting to be irate at their employers, and for good reason. We're now starting to hear more and more reports that these employers, these big companies, large businesses, corporations, are now starting to pull back benefits. So essentially, you're going to receive some type of a cut to your overall compensation. The scary thing is, for the average employee, you receive about 30% of your total compensation is in benefits. These are in things like healthcare, paid time off, sick leave, childcare, social security, and things like that. Well, today I want to show you and kind of explain what is about to happen, especially starting in 2025. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, explain exactly what is going on, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So yes, 30% of your total compensation could be gone in the matter of weeks. But why? Well, I want to get to that in a moment. But first, I want to show you a couple things. This article right here says Starbucks expands parental leave benefits for hourly part-time employees. Well, that doesn't sound like a cut. That sounds like a very good thing, where it's expanding parental leave benefits. That's great, right? Well, yes and no. Here's the next one. New Jersey healthcare workers demand better pay and benefits. It says that they are rejecting a 2.25 pay raise that was offered by the county. Okay, well, what does this mean? Well, let me show you this one as well. It says from a 4-day work week to pet paid time off, employee benefits in 2025 will focus on personalization. That is what they're going for. Now, how does this impact you? Well, this is going to impact you based off of the average age of the workers in a company. Think about this for a second, okay? Let's say you are 60 years old. You probably have more, you probably put a little more value on paid time off, sick leave, health care, health insurance, dental care, life insurance. You probably value those benefits a little bit more than a gym membership, okay, company car, maybe a cell phone, right? You probably don't value those things as much because as an older person, You are most likely looking to retire, so obviously the retirement plan or potential 401k matching is very important. Health insurance, do you have a good health plan? What is the deductible, right? Does it cover dental, vision, maybe hearing, hearing loss or hearing aids, right? All those things are important. Well, this is where we are about to see personalization become a factor. Again, I want to touch on this article because I was reading this just this morning and I thought this was very interesting because from what I've been hearing from many people that comment right here on the channel or send me emails to my email address, people are saying the same thing, that they are seeing that their benefits are going to get cut. Okay, let me just give you an example. Certain wellness programs. So a person sent me an email, it was probably a few days ago, and they said that at their company, they work in a big office building. I'm not going to say which office building or what their company is for obviously their own reasons, but so they work in a bigger building. Well, on one of the bottom floors of the building, they have meditation like seminars or classes where you can go in. It's about a 20 to 30-minute session. You can go and meditate in the morning, during the afternoon, whenever you want to. Okay, and they used to have that, or they still do. But as of January 1st, or technically, I think it will be was the Monday. Yeah, so technically on January 1st, which is actually a Wednesday, those benefits will end. Yeah, they won't have them anymore. They are going to replace the little meditation rooms. Okay, they're going to replace that to get rid of that. They're getting rid of their gym memberships at their local gym, right? Getting rid of that. Cell phone plans, getting rid of that. Every single person will have to pay for their own cell phone. It will not come out of the company's wallet. So they're getting rid of that. They're getting rid of the child care area of their building as well, of their office. Okay, getting rid of that. But what are they going to replace it with? Well, they're also getting rid of coffee. No more free coffee, right? That's another benefit. That's another perk that's going away. Okay, no more free coffee, no more tea, nothing like that. They will have water. Vending machines are gone. They're now repurposing that space to put more offices. Okay, more offices to bring people back to work. One of the things that many companies have noticed over the past several years, especially since they went more of that kind of hybrid, you can work from home a couple days, you can come into the office. What we've started to see is more people are actually less healthy, okay, which is increasing the cost for healthcare. It's increasing the likelihood that they're going to have to use their paid sick leave, right? It increases the likelihood that they are going to need their life insurance paid out if something were to happen, right? So now these companies, these employers are trying to personalize all your benefits, your whole benefit package based off of the employees and the average age of each employee. If you have an average age of that's 18 to let's say 30 years old, then retirement planning is important, but it's not probably the most valuable thing. You're probably looking at child care is a huge one. Okay, paid time off, another big one. Tuition reimbursement, another huge thing, right? Mental health, flexible hours. These are things that people are looking at.
Okay, any comments on that? That's not going to affect nobody on the line, is it?
Shalom, everyone. I hope not. I got my updated benefit packet and nothing changed. They added a few extra things, but nothing changed from last year so far.
Okay, you're not trying to do anything with stay at home, work at home.
No, sir. Last year they did do a cut with about 5 people, but they transferred them to another department and they were still able to work from home. So this year, I think that they're going to do the same thing, but just sort of offer us another position in another area versus hiring on the outside. So I think that's going to be coming around February, March time.
Okay.
but no change in benefits.
Okay. We got another one right here. This is Israel and South Africa. Let's look at it.
If you have a 30-year fixed rate mortgage,
Algeria stand firm in our support for the Palestinians' people's quest for self-determination. Israel's barbaric war on the people of Gaza must end, and we demand that it should end now.
That's some?
As you know, South Africa took the step to lodge a legal case against the State of Israel at the International Court of Justice, arguing that Israel is committing acts of genocide against the people of Gaza. The killing of women, children, and non-combatants, the bombardment of homes, schools, and hospitals, and the denial of humanitarian aid is a stain on the conscience of the world. We cannot turn a blind eye to this type of injustice. We have a responsibility to stop this genocide. It is this that motivated South Africa, a country that is thousands of kilometers away from this conflict area. We did so because we were taught by Nelson Mandela that our freedom Nelson Mandela taught us that our freedom as South Africans would not be complete until the Palestinians attain their own freedom and self-determination. So as we took the action at the International Court of Justice, many called it a baseless case. Many said what we were doing did not amount to anything. It was even nonsensical. But we were determined that we should stand on the side of the Palestinians at a time of great need. We argue that Israel must be held accountable for what it is doing in Gaza. Algeria and South Africa need to stand firm in our commitment to the right of the people of Western Sahara also for self-determination.
Yeah, so it's not good. It's not, you got to do you some good to watch the video. I mean, to hear this is already shocking, but you got to watch the video. It's Israel shocked by the South Africa's president Ramaphosa's fiery speech in Algeria. So we see how these men, these black leaders all over Africa, rising up to the forefront, just like the Creator had, just like he prophesied. Like this 5 years ago, 2 years ago, this was unheard of. Okay, you heard it?
Honorable speakers and honorable members, we applaud Algeria for its unwavering support for the struggle of the people of Western Sahara to determine their own future. We must remind the international community of its responsibility, yes, to the people of Western Sahara. International law must be upheld. The values of the United Nations Charter must also be respected. And we need to build a new world order founded on true justice, fairness, and inclusivity. South Africa reiterates its call for the reform of the United Nations Security Council to make it more representative and accountable. We applaud the positions that have been taken by Algeria as it has been participating in the United Nations Security Council as a non-permanent member.
So what we're looking at is, like I was saying, everything is getting lined back out like originally when you understand the Most High's order. We talked about this morning. So Yahweh created these 7 angels in his likeness, in his image. They created man in their likeness and their image, right? And we know that that man he created, the one he took to himself, was a man of melanin, because melanin is what is the substance of the universe, what makes the universe click. So we know that man that he created in his likeness was a man of color, right? So for the longest, it ain't been lined up. It's been these people here, because these people here is not made in the likeness and image of the creator and of the angels. It's another breed, an invasive species, but now we see it's being lined back out. Where when it says that Adam had a son in his likeness, after his image, that's what we're going back to. That's what you see happening now, is everything going back, being lined back up like it's supposed to be. Okay? Any comments or questions? Okay, everybody good on that? So here we go with the need to know information. I told you how these Israelis got a trick up their sleeve, right? They're gonna, if you go back in the past, those first 2 world wars, I broke down, it's a harlot. Creator and the angels told us it's a harlot in the last days that's in Israel, posing as Israel, and that harlot controlling the beast. The beast transformed, the harlot caused the beast to transform itself 10 different times. What we're looking at now is this final transformation. It's going from America, which is the 9th beast, to China, the final beast. So when you look at that, you can see right here, they in World War I, those Edomites, the harlot, they sunk that ship, the Lusitania, in order to, because they got to fool the masses of the people to make it look legitimate. So they sunk that ship, the Lusitania, and that's what brought America, the arm, the war arm, the military side of the beast. They brought them in. And then they came back the second time, and they caused Pearl Harbor. That's the way they brought the beast in. That was to fool the people, to make it look like they wasn't being imperialists or colonists or whatever, old power people. They made it look like they was provoked into it. So now they doing their own schedule, just like my man Albert Pike said, it's gonna be 3 world wars. This, they're doing it again right here with this. Like I told you, Israel and the Gaza, what's going on with that? That's been going on forever and a day, ever since they created that fake state of Israel. So they're using that, the conflict and the friction with that, to bring in this last and final push they're trying to do. So here we go.
We thank you for the positions that you have been adopting.
My bad. Thought I clicked off it. You get this. Here we go.
In West Asia, tensions are flaring up again, this time between Israel and the Houthis. On Thursday, Israeli strikes hit Yemen. The target was the capital of Yemen, the city of Sana'a, and the port city of Hodeidah.
When you understand what's going on, you gotta know they're trying to bring America in. They're trying to bring America in this. And then, like I said before, that temple, they already came out with the red heifers and all that. The objective is, in a slick way, they got to bring that mosque down, that Muslim mosque that's on Chipper Mountain.
Strikes targeted power infrastructure and oil facilities. 9 people were killed, 3 others were injured. Israel has called this operation successful and said that these were targeted strikes.
The IDF conducted precise strikes on Houthi military targets in Yemen, including ports and energy infrastructures in Sana'a, which the Houthis have been using in ways that effectively contributed to their military actions. Israel will not hesitate to act in order to defend itself and its citizens from the Houthis' attacks.
Videos from Sana'a show the impact of the attacks. Power stations on fire, damaged silos, leaks from the plants, and firefighters trying to control the damage.
So this right here, Israel attacked the Houthis now. The Houthis gonna come back. And as we're speaking right now, the Houthis will attack Israel. Israel on fire.
The attack was in response to a Houthi strike. Early on Thursday, the Israeli army intercepted a missile coming from Yemen. The target was central Israel, where a school was damaged. No one was injured, though. Now, Israel is citing this as the reason to attack Yemen.
The missile force of the Yemeni armed forces carried out a significant military operation, targeting 2 vital and sensitive military targets of the Israeli enemy in the occupied Jaffa area using 2 Palestine II hypersonic ballistic missiles. The operation achieved its goals successfully by the grace of Allah.
So the Houthis strike Israel, and the Israeli army hits back, and it triggers a series of tit-for-tat attacks. But why Yemen? Because Yemen is home to the Houthis. This is an armed group, much like Hamas in Gaza or Hezbollah in Lebanon, and all 3 of these groups are allied. They're all backed by Israel's greatest enemy, Iran. And these armed groups, Hamas, Hezbollah, and Houthis, are together known as the Axis of Resistance. After October 7, the Houthis threw in their lot with Hamas. They began fighting a proxy war against Israel. The first target was the Red Sea. The Houthis would attack any ship that they thought was linked to Israel. The attack started last November and disrupted global shipping. Then the Houthis changed tack. They started attacking Israel directly. They struck buildings in Tel Aviv. Of course, Israel could not have that. They were fighting a war in Gaza. The last thing they needed was attacks from another enemy, so Israel decided to respond. They struck Yemen. It was a message to the Houthis, basically, to stop their attacks. And all of this happened months ago. And since then, the tit-for-tat strikes have been on. Now, let's look at this from Israel's perspective. Their first target was Hamas. So Israel eliminated the top leadership of Hamas. They flattened the Gaza Strip, and they tried to demolish Hamas as a military force. Then they turned to the Hezbollah, killed their leader, Hassan Nasrallah, and hundreds of other Hezbollah fighters with pager attacks. Israel carried out continuous strikes in Lebanon, leaving Hezbollah as a weakened force. So 2 groups out of 3, Hamas and Hezbollah.
So you see what he just said? She just said they targeting those so-called terrorist leaders with cell phones blowing up in their face. That's how they kill them. Text messages. That's why they was talking the other day about everybody was going around the internet how don't be texting, stop texting, all that because of this.
The so-called Axis of Resistance decimated. The third group, the Houthis, remain a challenge, though, because of multiple reasons. The first reason is location. Remember, both Gaza and Lebanon are on the border with Israel, but Yemen is far away. So a distant target for Israel. That's the first challenge. The second challenge is the cost of engagement. The Houthis control large parts of Yemen. They have a stronghold to launch new attacks. But Israel may not want a direct military campaign in Yemen. It would stretch their resources. Reason number 3 is global shipping. The Houthis are at a vantage point. Look at this map. Yemen gives them access to crucial routes. The Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden both lead into the Suez Canal. It's the busiest waterway between Asia and Europe. Around 12% of global trade passes via the Red Sea, also 10%.
So guess what? You can do your research on it. So now all of a sudden, this big thing going on now that these Houthis then attack the American ship. Same playbook they did with the Pearl Harbor. That's how they brought America into the war. They staged Pearl Harbor. They staged it when they blew up the Lusitania. Edomites did it. Israelis done it. And then now they're doing the same thing now. Now all of a sudden, as we speak, they're saying that these Houthi rebels blew up on a U.S. ship. So the game's gonna change. America's gonna get involved in it. They're already over there in Syria. They drop bombs over there in Syria. That's what I was telling you, that these Israelis, when you understand it's a whore, the whore is riding on the beast, and they got a plan. They got it looking like Israel is done, but they're gonna come back all of a sudden, and like Yahweh saved them. But this time, the Temple Mount gonna be cleared. And they can build a temple. That's their objective. Okay. Any comments or questions? Okay. So we'll open it up for some Q&A. Anybody have any questions, comments about anything they want to talk about before we move forward? I got one more video, then we'll go into our recap for the week. Anybody got any questions or comments about anything?
Shalom, Brother Leonard. What is that Dome of the Rock stopping them from doing?
Okay, we go back to, remember when Abraham, the Lord of hosts came to Abraham in Genesis chapter 12, right? And he told him, get thee from thy kindred. I'm going to take you to a land that's flowing with milk and honey. That's the Garden of Eden. He's just taking them, all he's doing is fixing what Canaan had done. Canaan stole the land of Israel and displaced terror and all them. So the Lord of hosts came, got Abraham and brought him back to the land where they had got displaced from. And so once he got into the land, Abraham made a sacrifice, and he built an altar and made a sacrifice, right? Hello? He built
Right, I'm with you, Brother Leonard.
He built a temple and made he built this altar and made a sacrifice. Well, later on, when David and them came, David took Hebron, took the Jebusites and all that. They built the temple. The temple that Solomon built is on the site where Abraham initially came and sacrificed to the Lord of hosts. So now, after all those, you know about the Crusades, right?
Right, yes, sir.
So the Muslims came. Muslims were part of those Crusades. At one point, the Muslims controlled that land, Jerusalem, where they built that mosque on top of that same place where Abraham made the sacrifice at, where the Temple Mount was at. So in order for them to rebuild the temple, they want to rebuild that mosque is in the same. They got to remove the mosque from that place where Abraham made the sacrifice at. It's in the way. It's stopping them. And that's been the problem. That's been the problem the whole time. So they got to find a way to get. So that's the second holiest site in Islam. So if they just come in there and start demoing the place, all hell gonna break loose. But they got to make it look like it was accident, or that it was it was some kind of some erroneous happened that bring it down. They can't just go bring it down because all hell gonna break loose. So they're going to do this. Like I said, I was showing last night how all of a sudden Israel got these, they call them earthquake bombs. When they drop, they shake everything all over the place. See what I'm saying? So their objective is they want to bring that Dome of the Rock down. That's what they shooting at. And everybody else, most people ignorant to the fact of that. The Christian and all them, they have no idea. But that's their objective. And they already got, they didn't set everything up. They already used YouTube and all these social media platforms, and with these red heifers, they already showed you their intention. The red heifers is directly tied to the rebuilding of the temple. So the next thing to do is they gotta get rid of that Dome of the Rock and the temple coming. But it's gonna have to be just like with what we was dealing with on the women's line with Esther. Okay, they had it when they went back. They was at the last minute. The Lord of Hosts came in and saved the Israelites, and they rejoiced. And then they left from there and went back to Jerusalem and rebuilt the temple. They doing the same, assimilating the same thing now. But it's wicked. It's wicked as hell because they ain't the people. But they making it look like they the same people. They got using the media to look like they doomed. They over with. But all of a sudden out the blue, they're gonna get rescued and be revitalized. The temple mount gonna be open to build a temple. That's what they set up. And like I said, you got to go back and look in the scriptures where the original borders, because you got so many people talking about how that land is too small to hold the Israelites. He says that's what you got a lot of people saying, the land's too small for them. It can't be the place. It's too small. That ain't the original borders that's over there now. The original borders are way in Goshen. When Joseph then was in Goshen, that's why the Pharaoh gave them Goshen. Goshen was a part of their land. When you look at those borders, it's a huge piece of land. And so that's what they shooting for. Pakistan, all that area there is part of those borders. And that's what I was showing you the other day, how they're attacking Pakistan now. I'm gonna show you that video in a minute. But nobody understands what's going on, right? Because they, first of all, they already think them the real people. So that's what we're looking at. So any comments? Did I answer your questions?
Yes, sir. That makes sense.
Right. So let's check this video out. Like I said, nobody knows about Pakistan. And then see Pakistan, you got a couple of those countries like they doing Gaza the way they doing them because they have no nukes. See what I'm saying? And then Iran, they can't deal with them people like that. They got nukes and all that. So Pakistan got nukes. So they got to use TAC, right? So check it out. Let me play the video. You think it's just something that's happening in the news? No. You saw super sharp.
If you want to quit your...
Here you go. Oh, yeah.
Moving on to the United
States. Like I said, Joe Biden, he supposed to have been thrown off. He supposed to have lost his mind and all that. The reason they picked Harris to run, he's supposed to be thrown off, but look what he's doing.
States, which is also not acting against Khalistanis.
Joe Biden.
But they have imposed sanctions on 4 Pakistani entities.
Pakistan.
This includes a state-owned defense agency.
He got about 25 days left.
And what are these sanctions for? Pakistan's long-range ballistic missile program. All sanctioned entities were associated with this missile program. The US wants to stop it, hence the sanctions, which makes you wonder. The US has been a key provider of weapons and military aid to Pakistan for years.
So what you're looking at is him and Trump working together. Just like I showed you in first, second Maccabees. And he told you Antiochus Epiphanes' lineage. He says that Alexander came on the scene and he conquered all these worlds, died, and then they ruled. Men came behind him, ruled after them for many years, one after the other one. Same race of people. So they working together on the same plan.
Why do they have a problem with their missile program? The thing is, they don't. These sanctions have less to do with the ballistic missiles and more to do with China. Pakistan's deepening relationship with China. Washington does not like it, so it is applying pressure. They've done it before. Our next report tells you what happened after that.
The United States has imposed sanctions on 4 Pakistani entities, including the National Development Complex, or NDC. This is Pakistan's state-owned flagship aerospace and defense agency. What are the charges? Contributing to Pakistan's long-range ballistic missile program. The announcement was made by the US State Department. The targeted entities include the National Development Complex in Islamabad, Akhtar & Sons Private Limited, Affiliates International, and Rockside Enterprise. All of these companies are based in Karachi. But why are these sanctions happening now? According to US officials, these entities worked together to advance.
Because they're getting ready to try to build a temple, right? It's hammer time.
Pakistan's ballistic missile program. In a post on X, State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller said, and I quote, "The United States is designating 4 entities that are contributing to Pakistan's ballistic missile program. We have been clear and consistent about our concerns, and we will continue to engage constructively with Pakistan on these issues." The United States says the NDC worked to acquire items to further Pakistan's long-range ballistic missile program. The other 3 companies worked to supply equipment. Washington has raised concerns about this. The United States sees these procurement activities as a global threat, which is why it's sanctioning these entities. The measures include freezing US-based assets of these entities and banning Americans from doing business with them.
Yeah.
Pakistan.
So it's going on right in our face, but they just sent everybody down. They just sent all the so-called African Americans, Israelites, they all going down Priam Road. They got false information. They all over there dealing with JC. They don't have no idea what they're doing right here. It's like what we didn't found out about Negro Land with Tory and all them. That's major. But the average person, who knows that? They think one thing going on, but it goes back to the scriptures, back to who we are and where we at this present moment. That's where all the drama is. Like I said, all that chaos, all of that, what they did to Harlem, what they did to Wall Street, Black Wall Street, all that is because they know who we are. When we sitting there, we whining and crying about it for all the wrong reasons. And that we ain't looking at it for what it is. These is what the Creator and these angels told us. They wicked as hell. They constantly trying to keep us down. And they all the pressure and the drama, the chaos, and all that, and the madness is in those areas where we at. That's what's been going on for the last 2,500 years. But these Negroes stole off on what's really happening. Okay. Any comments? Questions? Okay. Everybody good?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So like I said before, I'm trying to taz up this taz up everything that's going on during the week, make it more interesting. But so what we're gonna start doing now is I start doing on after our Q&A on Sundays. We'll do a recap on the week. So what happened on and anybody have any comments or questions come up, we'll talk about it. So on Tuesday we had our let me go back. Okay. Yeah, on Sunday, last Sunday we had advanced Bible study, and we was talking about the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah 31. We was breaking that down. Okay, and we went into what how Jeremiah had prophesied about the 70 years and the return of the Israelites to the land of Israel, and how that stuff, a lot of that stuff already happened. And we connected the dots with uh, um, Nehemiah and the wall and all that. We connected all that. Okay. Then we had on Tuesday we had our Israelite Advanced Bible Study, right? And we were dealing with Deuteronomy chapter 5, right? And then uh, on Wednesday night we dealt with Lilith. We dealt with how Lilith is one of those creator, meaning God the host has the ability to transform himself to shapeshift. And he ended up shapeshifting, and one of those characteristics that each character that he shapeshifted to is Lilith. We went to the book of Adam and Eve, how that Adam would live up on top of the cave. Eve would live in the cave for treasures, and Adam would come out of the cave because he was stretched out and live and sleep on top of the cave. And Lucifer came to him in the form of a beautiful woman. That's who Lilith is. And he lied and said that, you know, when the Most High put Adam to sleep back in Genesis chapter 2, that he brought him out first. But he ended up giving Eve to him, and not her. But we know that was a lie. And that's how the devil operates. Like I said right now, he got the whole world duped on actually what's going on. They got the right hand over here playing chess with you with the right hand, and behind their back, in their left hand, they got a hand grenade. And that's what they're doing. That's what they've been doing. Serpent did this in the garden, and his children doing the same thing now. So we found out that we went and did a high tech investigation on who Lilith was, and we went back and broke that down. Anybody have any comments on that? Lilith? Any
Shalom.
remark?
I have a little comment. Yes, sir. Today we can see the same thing, right? When they are envious of us. And that's exactly what we found out when we were in the book of Adam and Eve. And it was in the second book of Adam and Eve that we found out how jealous he was. You know, he was saying, I can give you 5 children just like, Eve had. And he states um, when he's first speaking to Adam, and he was saying that he was jealous because the Lord of hosts gave him Eve. So
Exactly.
it's the same way today as we see they are envy of us. That is the reason why they do a lot of the things that they do to us.
Right. Exactly. So we see too that just what we saw right there, the jealousy, ain't that exactly what happened? Because he got a son called Enoch. Now we know why that happened. He got a son called Enoch. Adam got a son called Enoch. He got a son
Yes.
called Methuselah. Adam got a son called Methuselah. And then he got a son called Lamech. Adam got a son called Lamech. So that justified that right there. That's how envious he was of the Most High creation when he formed Adam and made Adam. He trying to duplicate everything the Most High doing with Adam. Okay. Anybody else got anything on that? Okay. So then we went to our women's advanced Bible study, right? And now we on our women's advanced Bible study on Thursday night. And yeah, I want to put that plug in there too because I didn't say it in the beginning. But every Thursday night, 7 to 9, we have our women's advanced Bible study, but it's on Israel Wake Up. It's not on Prophets of Awakening, so it's every Thursday night. You can join. The men can join in through YouTube. But on Israel Wake Up on Thursday night, we was dealing with Esther and how they switched that all around, and they took the book of Mordecai and turned it into the book of Esther. When actually it was the book of Mordecai. Okay. Any comments on that? Yeah.
Shalom. Yes,
Brother
sir.
Leonard. Oh,
Excuse me, brother AJ.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we found out more about the book of Esther out of the Apocrypha more than it had in the KJV. So actually, it should not be the book of Esther. It should be the book of Mordecai. So out
Right.
of the Apocrypha, we saw that they were doing more of the tradition things that the done, like they were praying, they were fasting, versus in the KJV it speaks nothing of that. And we also discussed that in the KJV it did not mention the Lord of hosts not one time, but in the Apocrypha it did. So that was a great class that we had on Thursday night. We learned a whole lot more about the book of Mordecai.
Okay. Well, what you got, AJ?
Shalom. I was gonna ask about, is Ruth the same way? Like I haven't dove into that book, but is Ruth really about someone else, and they just they called it the Book of Ruth?
Well. It's more or less when you go back and understand that what they're doing with women in the New Testament is out of order in the Old Testament. So they went back to the Old Testament, try to make it look like what we seeing all of a sudden, or like I said, in the Old Testament, Samuel, the prophet, came and put the oil in the horn and anointed David. In the New Testament, Mary bust a box of alabaster flowers on JC feet and wiped them all on his feet and used her hair to wipe it all off. So now they got to go back and try to justify where all these women coming from. Like at the tomb, at JC tomb, 5 different Marys came to the tomb. So they had to go back in the Old Testament and try to justify that. That's why they come up with this woman Hilda, which was a prophetess, and all the Israelites, the Levites coming running to her when at the time when Israel was in a dire need of a leader. They go to Hilda. Then they bring up Deborah and Esther and Judith. All them those things happened, but not in the context of what they did. They went and raised up the women. When actually the story was more or less about was about a man. He's dealing with a man. And so pertaining to what you said, when you go back and look at that, they remember how they make you think that Jacob was a usurper, right? They
Right,
want you to
right.
think they came back and denigrated all our forefathers. Like they say Joseph was a slickster. But we know that Joseph gave him that pottage, and then Esau told him, he sold him his birthright. He ain't usurping. And then they go back and they make Noah a drunk. But when you go back and find out what really happened, you see what's happening. Like, and that came up the other night when about the wine, how that David, it tells you David, when David brought the ark into the temple, into the Jerusalem, he had a flagon of wine. Yeah, that's down there, a gallon of wine. See what I'm saying? And then he gave them, he said, I multiplied the grapes and I gave you the fruit of the vine to drink. So, but they're going to turn around, and that's exactly what it says when the flood receded. 40 days and 40 nights, Noah had been through all kind of hell. When the flood receded, Moses planted a vineyard and made some wine. Hell, he needed some wine. But they want to make you think Noah was a drunk, went to sleep, and all this happened to him. But that's not the case. Then they turn around and they denigrated David. So that's what that is when you in the book of what's that, Ruth, is that they trying to tell you David came out of a lineage where the man wasn't an Israelite, the woman wasn't an Israelite. They denigrated the lineage that David came through. You get that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So Ruth ain't no she ain't no Israelite woman. You see what I'm saying? So go back to Solomon. Solomon, when they say a Hebrew or Hebrews, and even you go to Egypt, that cross, that Ankh represent a pure African. That means an African man and African woman got together and they had this boy. So a Hebrew or Hebrews is when an Israelite man mated with an Israelite woman and got an Israelite son, Solomon. And they denigrate that understanding. So they come and say that didn't happen with David. He the Messiah, but David came through a contorted lineage through Ruth. And so I let that fly. I don't really deal with it till it come up. But that's what they did. They denigrated David's lineage and say that he didn't come through no perfect lineage like Israelites, all Israelites. He come from a pagan woman and an Israelite man. Okay, that was the whole purpose of that. And that's why to this day, nobody believes it's impossible. As far as they're concerned, there ain't no way in hell David the Messiah. See what I'm saying?
Just a quick question.
Say that
What
again?
does that make the baby?
What do you mean?
Well, you said that you had a Hebrew Israelite man and a woman who obviously was into idolatry before she turned her life around. So what kind of child did she produce? What was it?
A bastard. He wasn't right.
It's Hebrew.
Right?
Right? Didn't matter what she was. He has a seed, provided a Hebrew. So that's what it is.
Right, but it's a difference. It's a difference when an Israelite man and an Israelite woman get together. It's a difference. It's still the seed still is Israelite, but it's a difference. And when you go back and look at it, like I had broke that down in another class where a lot of people didn't really pay attention to. You got the Most High got a covenant with Aaron, right? Just like he got a covenant with David, he got a covenant with Aaron. Those are the two holy ones that goes into the temple once a year on the Day of Atonement. Those two holy. So them boys right there is that male out of that lineage marries to an Israelite woman, and that lineage goes on like that. So when you go all the way in and do the research, you'll see the king is marrying daughters over in Aaron's lineage. So you say, what are you talking about? David. It was already ordained for David and Bathsheba to be together. But guess what? Uriah wasn't no Israelite man. So Uriah started following Lim. He was following Lim around, hiding in the bushes, because Lim was a righteous man out of Aaron's lineage. And he was praying and praying all the time because Bathsheba was so beautiful. And he was praying for the Most High to give Bathsheba a king. And Uriah was listening. He was hiding in the bushes when he go and pray. So everybody think Uriah, what David did was foul. No, the Most High had already had Bathsheba set in place to marry David. It was already written in the stars. And Uriah came in there, you usurped that. And so that's what I was saying. It's a difference. And you got Israelite. That's why he did what he did with Solomon, because of David was an Israelite man, Bathsheba was an Israelite woman. And then another story you want to look at that. Another story with Tamar. Judah was off on some more stuff, but the whole time he wanted to hook Judah up with Tamar. And then eventually, he had to get Tamar to dress up like a harlot in order for Judah to go into her. And when Judah went into her, that's the lineage right there out of Judah. So what we looking at? That's the total opposite of Ruth. The story of Ruth and Naomi. He made sure that Judah went into a Hebrew Israelite woman, and he got those 2 boys. So he's going out his way to preserve that lineage. Okay, yeah. So yeah, when the male hold the seed, but it's a big ass difference in an Israelite man, like I said, it's an Israelite man with an Israelite woman and an Israelite man with another woman. Okay. So anybody got any more questions on that? Let me see what's going on with this.
I just want one more question. Okay, I want to know where it says that.
Says what?
That there's a difference between a seed that is by one woman or another. I want to know where it says that.
Okay, well, it's about thinking like Hebrew, and then that's how you make a. That's how the Most High God. Look at the power that David is wielding. Well, David got to go somewhere and sit down when he's dealing with Nathan. That's how it works. So what the regular is like might not see that, but being the role that Nathan sees all that. So let me show it to you. Look at it. I mean, I think it's Genesis chapter 30. Genesis chapter 30. Okay. And then you, like I said, think it like a Hebrew. So let me get it. If I'm not mistaken, it was 30. Let me see.
So those folks are not Shem, they're not from the line of Shem.
Who that?
The ones that were fathered by Hebrew men, different women.
Yeah, they Israelites because the man had a seed, but the woman is not. You got to the Israelite woman. The Israelite woman seed is considered. It plays a big part of it. So you say, what are you talking about? Look at Absalom. Was Absalom mama Israelite? No.
No.
He wicked as hell. That's what I'm saying. That's what people not paying attention to. Yeah, Israelite, but he's another Israelite. He not like a one that a man slept with an Israelite woman. Because like I said, Adam said when he gave him, he took the rib out of Adam. So Eve is just like Adam. There's a difference. So anyway, let's look at it. Okay. Abraham, no, it's before that. No, it's after that. Okay, give me a minute. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just a little perplexed. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna straighten it out in a minute. So here we go. I'm in 38. It says, and it came to pass that at the time that Judah, right? It's Judah, David out of Judah. Judah went down from his brethren, turned into a certain Adulamite woman. See that? Look at that. Certain Adulamite woman whose name was Hera, right? So is that Adulamite? Is that an Israelite?
No.
Is that an Israelite? Huh?
A Dudalamite, you said?
Yeah, Dudalamite woman. Is that an Israelite woman?
Truthfully, right now, I can't think if she is or not.
No,
I guess that she wasn't.
She Canaanite.
Yeah.
She Canaanite.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So verse 2, and Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite. See that? She's not Israelite. A certain Canaanite whose name was Shula. The man's name was Shula. And he took her and went in unto her. So he went into her, right? And she conceived and bore a son and called his name And she conceived again and bore a son and she called his name Onan. And she yet again conceived and bore a son, and his name was Shula, and he was at Chazez when she bore him. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. Now watch this. 7. And this is the firstborn son of Judah and this Canaanite woman. And Judah's firstborn son, was wicked. That's why he wicked. See that? He an Israelite, but he wicked. Just like Absalom. See that? So anyway, in the site, go ahead. What you got?
So it's not possible that same scenario could happen, but that the result is that if there's someone that loves the Almighty with all their heart and serve Him with all their heart, then they will be still considered second-class Israelites. Is that what you're saying?
No. They're not considered second class. He's an Israelite, but like I was saying before, when you look at if an angel go into a woman, what you get?
A hybrid, or demigod.
You get a giant. And so we see in the scriptures, David Abraham had 200 with him. David had 33 of them with him, so they ain't all wicked.
Right, yeah.
But you're supposed to be on your toes when you understand what had happened. So here, you shouldn't be surprised. You shouldn't be surprised that is wicked, because the way he came from.
Got it.
Okay, so it says, and the Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. See that? The Lord slew him.
Mm-hmm.
So we ain't the judge. The Lord slew him, right? And Judah said unto Onan, go in, this is the second boy, go in unto thy brother's wife and marry her and raise up the seed of thy brother. And Onan, check it out, Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass when he went in unto his brother's wife that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give the seed to his brother. See that? So back to what we said. The man ain't got the seed. He got this right seed in him, but this clown didn't want to put it in the woman. He spilled it on the ground. He wicked. He wicked as hell. So then let's keep going. That's the first two boys. Okay, go ahead.
I see what you're saying. So I'm trying to somehow take a look at what you were talking about with regard to David, because David, if you go back, came from Obed, who came from Boaz, and he was the kinsman redeemer for an Ephraimite. So wouldn't his child have been, even though it might have been Judah that produced it, an Ephraimite, because he was a kinsman redeemer for someone else? So wouldn't that line be an Ephraimite line rather than really kind of a Judah line?
Right, but this the part about it. This another level, which is where Prophet of Awakening come in at. This is another level. So when you understand that, actually what we're talking about right now is basic. But when you understand that, how did we get JC?
How?
Yeah, how did we get JC?
Well, it was through the Wiesel Flavian family. They concocted.
No. Yeah, exactly. But they looked at our scriptures. They got
they backtracked.
And they saw how the Lord of Hosts operated. That's how they get JC. So would they not do the same thing right here? They see how our lineage go. A prime example. Let's do this. Go to the Most High told David that he's always going to be a man on the throne out of your lineage, right? So they know, if they didn't read it, they understand it. Now let's look at it. Let's go to Matthew, chapter 1. You got to excuse my tone, man. I get hyped up, man. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I catch fire. So you got to excuse that. Don't worry about that. So anyway, we go over here. They understood that. So out the gate, chapter 1 of Matthew, verse 1, genealogy of Jesus. The book of the generation of Jesus, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac. So they right there, they plugged him in the JC lineage. So what's the difference in what's the difference with the story of Ruth and Naomi?
Yeah.
They do the same thing over there, but you have to have the mind and understanding to see it.
Yeah. I understand that.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, let me go back over
Thank you
here.
for explaining that.
All right, yeah. So anyway, let's go to 38 and 9. Only knew that the seed should not be his, and it came to pass when he went in unto his brother's wife that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give the seed to his brother. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord. Wherefore he slew him also. So now let's look at that. We know the serpent slept with Eve. It got Cain. And these two boys acting the same way Cain acted. Come on. So anyway, 11. Then Judah and Tamar, his daughter-in-law, see that? This was Most High, the Lord of hosts wanted to get together the whole time. Israelite man and Israelite woman. Then said Judah unto Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at thy father's house till Shula, my son, the third boy, be grown. For he said, lest an adventure he die also, and his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. And in the process of time, the daughter of Shelah, Judah's wife, died. And Judah was comforted, and he went up to his sheep shearers in Timnah, he and his friend Hiram Dulamite, right? And it was told Tamar, saying, behold, thy father-in-law goeth up to Timnah to shear sheep. And she put her widow's garment off of her, covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself and sat on an open place, which is by the way of Timnah. And she saw that Shula was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. And when Judah saw her, he thought her to be a harlot. See that? And because she had covered her face, and he turned unto her by the way and said, go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. For he knew that she was he knew not she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, what wilt thou give me that thou may come in unto me? And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, will thou give me a pledge till thou send it? And he said, what pledge shall you give thee? And he said, thy signet and thy bracelet. See that? That's who he is. Thy signet and thy bracelet and thy staff.
The staff, okay.
That is in thy hand. And he gave it to her, and he came in unto her, and she conceived by him. So looking at that, who you think set that up? It wasn't Ricky down the road. Yahweh set it up because she could have just said, give me the gold. Give me the gold. No, she said, I want everything who you is, the staff and all that. Because she knows the seed was going to come out of that. And then when it came the time for him to bring the judgment on her, she came out with the staff. So what that staff means, Judah lineage. And it's the total opposite from what these clowns did in the New Testament. And what they came back and did with Ruth and Naomi. Because they denigrated. So you say, so let's keep going, then we'll get off of this. So you say, so that was the Yahweh right there. Now look at what happened. It's all spiritual. 27. It came to pass in a time when she started travailing, that behold, the twins in her room. Go back to Jacob and Esau. And it came to pass when she travailed that the one put out his hand and the midwife took the bound. Look at this. They fighting for the birthright. See that? And it came to pass when she travailed that one put out his hand and the midwife took bound upon it, the hand of the scarlet thread, saying, this came out first. She's trying to mark the firstborn. And it came to pass as he drew back his hand that, behold, his brother came out. And she said, how? Look at this. How hast thou broken forth? This breach, see that? That's what they did I just read in in Matthew. They put JC in David lineage. That's a breach. So he says, and it came to pass as he drew back his hand that, behold, his brother came out. And she said, how hast thou broken forth? This breach be upon thee. Therefore his name was called Perez. See that? So this boy here, he fighting for David right there. After all this right here, now he ain't gonna come in and Ruth gonna come. Come on. Let that ferment. Okay. Okay, so we was in back. You got any other comments or anything on that? Let me see what this okay, it says one of the daughters of Judah married into an English family. Yeah, we got a nut bucket out of that if they did. Okay. Most High showed me that women and men are okay. Okay. See what's going on. He said he would pour his spirit upon the man, the woman, the men, the old man, and the young man. Well, to make that, to be precise with that, it's the man, the men, the young man, the old man. I mean, just to be specific, because then you'll understand better. So it's a role that they playing. So when we reading that, you reading that in the wrong perspective. They got a role. The woman is he's gonna pour a spirit on her, but she's gonna go back to doing what the Most High set in order in the beginning. It's not about usurping authority, because we see every time in Israel, if you go back to Atla and all that, Israel was in a state of degeneration. But when David and Solomon and all them ruled, Israel was on point, in line with the Most High. It's just how it is. Like I just showed you with when you sleep with if a man, if Israelite man sleep with a woman outside his lineage, right? 9 times out of 10, the boy gonna be wicked. You aren't supposed to be surprised when you understand how it goes. That's why he said, don't intermingle. Don't let your sons marry their daughters. Don't let your daughters marry their sons. And that goes back to when you look at the women. The Israelite woman wasn't trying to usurp no authority. Our forefathers, the matriarchs back in the day, they weren't trying to get outside their line. They was lined up with the order. But since we've been cast out of the land of Israel, we at this point now where we at now.
Let me just ask one other thing. The intermingling that you're talking about, okay?
Right.
Was that a problem because of their makeup or because of their belief system?
No, the DNA.
DNA.
So
I mean, Abba Father's the one that created all of them. So that wouldn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I would think that if there would be a problem, it would be based on the fact that they were heathens and, had a way of worshiping idols and stuff like that.
Okay, so let's look at that. Let's look at that right quick. So Judah just went into a Dulamite woman, a Canaanite woman, right? Did the Creator make the Canaanite woman?
No, they came from
no.
Noah.
You ain't got nothing to do with the Canaanite woman. You don't have nothing to do with the Canaanite woman.
Another Judah. Well, yeah, there was that line that came. Yeah, I understand that line. Yeah.
Right.
But I mean,
he already told me don't be with him. Yeah. So Judah like her. Judah like her, but the Most High don't. So when before Judah went into her, he already knew the bounds, what he's supposed to do and what he don't do. So as soon as he saw when he saw his sons was wicked, he already knew why they was wicked, because he didn't cross the bounds of what the Most High told him.
So an Israelite can't marry a Hamite who, like Ruth and Naomi, like she turned and accepted, that culture or not. I'm not trying to challenge you. I'm just trying to.
I'm showing you how. I'm showing you how if you go and backtrack the information, every time that happened, you got wickedness. Look at I don't know if you even know this story or not, but Canaan, Adam had Cain killed Abel. Then Adam went into Eve again and got Seth, right? Seth had Enos. Then Enos had Canaan. You know that story?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So Adam, Cain's lineage. We know Cain's lineage is not Adam was his father. The serpent was Cain's father. So
Right.
serpent lineage. Serpent had a man called Lamech. Lamech married into Adam's lineage. He married two of Cain's daughters. He married two of Canaan's daughters, Ada and Zillah.
Yeah.
Right? Ain't them boys wicked? Were they wicked?
Yeah.
Jubal. Wasn't Tubal Cain wicked?
Yeah.
Ada and Zillah was their mothers.
Yeah. So
every time you see it, they wicked as hell.
But that's because these people, I mean, they were what they were. But I'm saying hypothetically, if it were an Israelite man and a Hamite woman who chose, to believe everything we believe and accept it with all her heart, is that not acceptable to him? That's what I'm trying to wonder.
Well, yeah, it's acceptable. It's about what side, what DNA. It's like Russian roulette. See what I'm saying? You can get a right. You can get a right to seed out of that. But we see through the scriptures 9 times out of 10 you're gonna be wicked as hell.
Yeah, I got it.
Right. And then you don't supposed to be surprised.
Right.
That's the thing about it.
So it'd be wiser to find an Israelite woman, basically.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Being obedient. So that's what David said when he was young. Even Daniel, when he was young, he learned after dealing with the Creator not to go to the left or to the right. I ain't gonna take that chance. That's what all our forefathers learned. Jacob, they learned that.
Another quick question that just came up. All right, let's say that you have a man that's like you said, the offspring of somebody that was from a Hebrew man and a Hamite woman.
Right.
Right. And that man, that child, married an Israelite woman. What would the child be?
It's the lineage of that man.
Right.
The woman don't have a seed.
Right. So okay.
She helped me.
But now would that make it more plausible, because now you can say, well, this is Hebrew and that's Hebrew.
Right. Yeah, right. But like I was saying before, it's about when that seed, like I said, you plant a seed, somebody give you some fictitious seed, you don't really know what it is. You put it in the ground, you don't know what it is. But then when you get up to a certain point and you start giving forth apples, and it's some damn good apples, then you know it's an apple tree, and it's a damn good apple tree. Right?
Yep.
So
right.
So you can get a right to seed out of that, but what are the chances?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hey, thanks for that answer.
Right, exactly. So where we was at? We was on Esther and all the women's line. Now we on the men's line for Friday night. We was dealing with the book of Zechariah, and we was dealing with I think it was chapter 12. So anybody have any comments on that? Any guys? Chapter 12 is about. Let me read some of it. I think the conversation got so good we didn't even necessarily get to Zechariah, but I'm gonna read a little bit of it now. Backtrack. We in Zechariah, and this is one of the ultimate verses. once you become awakened. Matter of fact, you can use this verse here to wake up an Israelite. This chapter. So it's chapter 12, right? And it's the future deliverance of Jerusalem, right? And it has nothing to do with the King James and the New Testament and Revelations, right? So it says, the burden of the word of the Lord for Israel, said the Lord, which stretcheth forth the heavens and laid the foundation of the earth, and form up the spirit of man within him. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all people round about, when they shall be in the siege, both Judah and against Jerusalem. And in that day, I will make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut into pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. Now here we go. This tied to what I was just talking about a righteous seed and all that stuff. So right here, verse 4. In that day, saith the Lord, I will smite every horse with astonishment and his rider with madness, and I will open my eyes upon the house of Judah, right? The house of Judah. You got 12 boys, but he says the house of Judah. Judah, we just saw the story with Tamar. That's why these boys is wrestling, to keep Judah lineage pure, right? Anyway, he says, I will open my eyes upon the house of Judah, and I will smite every horse of the people with blindness. Now watch this. David out of the house of Judah. And the governors, kings, that's what that word governor is, the kings of Judah, first and second kings, all the kings out of David lineage that will sit on the throne. That's what that is. The governors of Judah shall say in their hearts, the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be my strength, and in the Lord of hosts their God. Now here you go. In that day will I make the governors of Judah, the kings of Judah, right? Like a heat of fire among the wood. We just talked about that. The Lord of hosts lit on the bush and like a consuming fire, but it didn't burn the bush. So why was he able to do that? Because of where he came from. The Most High, when he formed him, the Most High formed him from himself. He's a consuming fire. That's why he's able to do that. So this is what he promised the righteous Israelite. In the last, when he come back, he's going to resurrect them, but they're going to be like him. So he says right here, 6, in that day will I make the kings of Judah. They did right here. Let me get this. They did right here. It says, in that day I will make the kings of Judah like a heath of fire among the wood. You're going to be like him. Like a torch of fire in the sheath. And they shall devour all the people round about on the right hand and on the left. And Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place, even in Jerusalem. The Lord shall save the tents of Judah first. See that? That the glory of the house of David. There. So they go Judah, the house of Judah, and David is within the house of Judah. And the glory of the house of David, and the glory of the house of Jerusalem, but do not magnify themselves. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble, here you go, he that is feeble among them, and that day shall be as David. And the house of David, that's all the kings, the first and second kings that they done told us that ruled in Jerusalem. Say, the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord. See that? As the angel of the Lord before them. So this is the day that the Most High is talking about in Malachi, a fire. The day of the Lord is going to be like a fire. It's going to burn like an oven because they're going to all be like him. That's what he promised them. That he's going to resurrect them. And they're going to be like him. If you live righteous and you died righteous, this is how you're going to be raised up. And they got nothing whatsoever to JC. So this was where the controversy was at. That's why it was so important that he told them, don't do this and don't do that. Don't mingle your seed. Okay? That's the importance of it. But anyway, so that's why I had that set up to read for the men's line. And then I didn't get a chance to, we're going to do 14 in Zechariah 14 for the Friday, in case nobody didn't get that. And the women's line, we're going to do Abigail, story of Abigail, David and Abigail. I don't think I got a chance to announce that. So let me see where we at. Sunday. Okay, I was in. Okay. Did Lily. Esther. Zechariah. Okay, yeah, we on this morning. We dealt with the Yahweh's order, the creation story of Yahweh's order. Anybody got any comments on that? And you get anything out of that? Okay.
Shalom, I got a question, Brother Leonard, about creation.
Okay.
Actually, I'll let the brother go first. I just heard him peep in.
No,
Go
you
ahead.
can go right ahead, bro. It's not a problem. I want to hear what you're saying.
Okay, Shalom. I appreciate you. The brother Leonard. Okay, when you
Yeah.
say in 1 to 28, when they say replenish the earth. Now I
Right.
know the flood before Noah's flood is due to Samuel, but were there angels inhabiting the earth? Like when he were they down here ruling the earth? Is that why he's telling the 6-day man to replenish the earth? Like was there life here?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was angels. It was angels. So when you go back to
Okay.
he only the thing about that is this. So right now, with them, they didn't found a way to send cameras and satellites into outer space. Is Mars habitable? Is Mars inhabitable today? Can you? Is
No,
it
sir.
life on Mars? Huh?
You said, does Mars have people on it?
Yeah, is it life on Mars today? According to the cameras, satellites, and all that.
Not that I seen.
It's a desolate planet, right?
Right.
Jupiter, all of them desolate, right? So
Right.
all those planets was angels was dealing with them before the flood. So he shut down the whole universe. But what we picking up in Genesis is he's just coming back to the earth. He didn't come back to the other planets. He only came back to the earth. The Mars and Jupiter and all that's still desolate. All the other planets still desolate. So you say, what are you talking about? Can we find, ain't we looking for Jerusalem? We can't find Jerusalem. We know at one time on the earth, David and Solomon, it was a kingdom of Israelites on the earth. Now we can't find no signs of it. What did he do to it? He made it desolate. So that's what he did to the other planets. What we're picking up in Genesis 1 and verse 1 and 2 is they come returning to the earth. He just came back to the earth. He didn't replenish, he didn't rejuvenate the whole universe. He left it desolate. You might have to let that ferment. Okay, but yeah, he left it desolate. That's why you can't get to it. A prime example is Mars. I think it's Mars, or maybe Mercury. It's gas all the way around. You can't even get to it. The only way they can get to it, they send probes or satellites through there, but they end up getting burned up and decimated. But you can't even get to the planet. He left it desolate. He didn't come back and revive the whole universe. He just only came to the earth. And so, like I was showing you when you understand not only did he scatter the Israelites, but he scattered our word, because the intent was for us to be blind and ignorant. So when he did that, you don't know where the scripture's at. But when you depend on him, find out who he is, then you don't know what information he's gonna give you. It might be in the book of Moby Dick. These clowns are scattered out, understanding all over the place. So I went to in a class. I went to the book of Bartholomew, and in that book, Satan told you everything that happened. He said that after the war with him and Michael, Michael cast them out. Him and those other angels, 1/3 of the angels, cast them into outer space, right? And we know how cold it is in outer space. So they were just in outer. They supernatural beings. They can't die. So they just out in outer space, floating around. We don't know how long they were floating around. Then in Genesis 1, when the Most High came back to the earth, shined the light on the earth, that woke them up. Then he came from there to the garden.
That's deep.
Oh yeah, right. This is what I'm saying. So when you come in, when somebody come on here and start trying to promote JC, come on, man. you gotta do better than that. Oh yeah. Exactly. So that's what that was. Like I said, and then you have to look at it. If you just look and think about it, when Satan started doing all the things he done, it wasn't Yahweh that kicked him out. It already tell you that it's somebody else there. It's a strong one there. It was Michael that kicked him out. So when you understand that, well, Yahweh people is jammed up in Egypt. The Egyptians are giants, right? The Egyptians is a race of giants. So he says, my people oftentimes went down into Egypt, and the Egyptian giants oppressed them in the land of Egypt. Okay, and so what did he do? The same person that he used to shake Satan down and kick him out of heaven, the same one he sent to Egypt. It ain't none of him. When Adam messed up in the garden, the same person he sent to Adam to go get Adam mind right. He came in the cool of the day to talk to Adam. Not Yahweh. No, damn sure ain't JC. And once that resonates in your brain, like I say, the scriptures open up like a yellow rose. But as long as you're dealing with JC, they ain't gonna open up. Because you limit to your reception that you're gonna get. And like I said, he put a pineal gland in our brain, and that pineal gland secrete melanin. That ain't happening to everybody. Come on. That's why Joseph is having dreams all over the place. And David and all them and Balaam. That's why they having dreams, because when he created them, they got a pineal gland. They got a what they call that, a stargate in their brain to deal with the Creator, deal with the angels. The rest of the other nations don't have that. So go to the DNA. If you sit there and sleep with somebody else outside the DNA, you think they're gonna get all those characteristics? No, they ain't gonna get them. That's why he said, don't go and pollute your DNA, because you've been wonderfully made. Come on.
I just want to say one other thing as you're talking about that, and that there's many ways of doing that. One of which is taking something like when they did the COVID thing that we talked about earlier, remember?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which alters the DNA. That's another way of proving your DNA.
You've been attacked. You've been attacked and don't know it. That's what I'm saying. Like I was saying before, you got to stop and think about it. Look at and we don't. It's happening every day, and it's subliminal. So the Most High said, we know that the human body, Adam, like I was telling you in the book of Ptolemy, Michael sent Gabriel to this place where it was this pure water. He said, go and get some pure water from there. That's the reason why we made up of 85 to 90% water. So now, in 2024, you get tired, you playing sports, you playing football or something, you get tired, you get thirsty. Well, they got you believing Gatorade. I'm gonna go get some Gatorade and drink it. Gatorade supersede the water. That's how throwed out we is. And they did the same thing with JC. He ain't got shit to do with us, but you've been brainwashed to believe that you think JC belongs is part of your makeup. That's what that is. And like I said, the first step that you have to do is you got to get rid of him. When you get rid of him, then the job damn near done. Because everything start opening up. As long as you're dealing with him, you're gonna forever be falling backwards in the dark. Okay? Yeah. So, anybody else got anything else before we go? We're almost at 2 hours. Any other questions or comments? Yeah, so like I was saying before, if you in the power to do that, I would get that book of Ptolemy, because it's about maybe 100 pages, but like I said, and that is get to that particular point, just like they do in the movies in Hollywood. They'll get to a particular point in the movie, and they spit straight scripture to you. Right? You know what I'm saying? An example of that is in the book of, in the movie Alien versus the Predator. The guy was peeping through the pyramid, and then the lady said, "Oh, where did they come from?" Then the guy came. They went like 25 minutes. This guy broke everything down. It was straight scripture. That's how they work. So, like I was saying, you got truths sitting way over here in some garbage ass book that you don't think is nothing, but it's truth over there. And the Creator, being who He is, He'll lead you right to it. But as long as you dealing with JC, got him all posted up in your head, you're gonna be spinning around like a spinning top. Okay. I was trying to find the book right here. I'll see if I see it right here. I was gonna show it to you. But when I get it, I find it, and on my next on the Tuesday, tomorrow I'll show it to you on the camera. It's called the Book of Bartholomew. Judas. So it goes. Judas betrayed JC, and then Judas went and hung himself. So the apostles was missing one prophet. So they went and draw straws. That's how they got Bartholomew. So now Bartholomew got a book. So yeah. Anybody got any questions, comments before we go? Everybody good?
Yes, sir. Good.
Okay. Yeah. So like I said before, we'll be trying. I think it's better to do this recap on Saturday evenings. You can cover a lot of stuff, a lot of information come out. So with that being said, I'm gonna say shalom, shalom, and another shalom. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 5.
Shalom. Great classes. Great classes.
Okay.